Welcome or welcome back. Today we're going to discuss a little bit about the progress on the rugs, where we stand at right now, and what we've done so far. So first off, I'm going to go ahead and show you the first rug that came out. Let me see here. So this was the first rug. First of all, the letters on the bottom, probably not the best idea to go with such small letters at first. And then this is cleaned up. Um, it's got some yarn on the top of it. I don't know. I wasn't thrilled with how this rug came out, shapes and stuff like that. Like this was the very first rug that we tried. So then we tried a second rug, which came out much better. Still not exactly as much as I wanted it to be. Not as good as I wanted it to be, I should say. So I tried doing some of the carving over here. I think I messed up some of the N a little bit because I didn't separate the colors as well as I should have. If I separate them now, I feel like it's just going to make a much bigger mess. So the heart is not really shaped. It's not a very good heart. So I think the sevens came out great. That I do think came out very good. So what I decided, let me bring this back. So what I decided was we're going to go a third time. So far, and it's not shaved, but I didn't have the camera upstairs, and so far, I think this is looking a lot better. Obviously, we still have the black background to put on. But I'm happy, much happier with the way that this came out so far. I think it actually looks like a much better shaped heart, and it'll be even better shaped once we get the carving done a little bit. This time I outlined the letters before I did them in white, and I think that's going to help. I outlined all of that before I filled it all in with the red and the yellow. So I really think that 7 does not look very nice, but once it's shaved, I think it'll be a lot better. And the same thing with the B. I still have a little bit of the white to do right there, but other than that, I think everything is turning out a lot better than I had planned. I shouldn't say a lot better than I planned. I think it's turning a lot better than the other 2 attempts, is what I think. So we're gonna go ahead. We're gonna try. So one thing I do want to discuss this real quick. Hold on a second. For some reason, I'm gonna try and do this with it. I didn't realize it until after the fact, but until I was done with all of it. So let me grab the microphone here so you can hear it at the same time. You can hear, so when you're doing these, we need to make sure that they are nice and taut, which this is. And you can hear it. When I flick it, you can hear it's taut. It bounces back real quick, which is what it's supposed to do. Unfortunately, I did not realize that down here was a little loose. So this is still taut right here. I think it's taut enough to where I'll be able to go ahead and get it done. I'm really hoping that that is the case because I really don't want to go through and do this again. So we're going to see what it is that we can do. We're going to finish the B and we're going to try and finish the background tonight. I don't know if I'm going to have enough black for the B tonight. But we're going to try that. The other thing I wanted to do was give a little bit more opinions on the Clawlabs tufting gun. So the gun is very easy to use. The stuff that I've ran into with like the yarn coming out, that's a me thing. I've been putting the yarn into a box to try and just keep it from moving around and stuff like that. Unfortunately, sometimes with it being in a cardboard box, it gets snagged up on some of the edges and stuff like that. So that's a me thing. That has nothing to do with the gun. I've had plenty of instances where I pull it out enough and it all stays in the gun the whole time. The gun is super easy to use. I've learned how to do the curves a little bit. As long as you're pushing hard and do it in little spurts, it is much easier to do the circles or to do curves. So I think that's a plus. What else? One thing I noticed with their tufting cloth, and I think that's what we ran into down here, it's very difficult to stretch from one side to the other. And I understand it has to be taught, but I feel like it can be taught and still have a little bit of room on the sides. And we don't have that. So it's very difficult to stretch across. Now the cloth that I'm using is the Clawlabs cloth. I'm gonna try buying cloth from someplace else to see how that goes. The problem I'm having is finding the right length without having too much to where some cloth is going to go to waste. The other thing that I noticed when I was rolling, so you roll the cloth onto that top bar, okay? And I have found when you're rolling, if you keep those lines in line, I wish I would have taken a video of it then, but when you're rolling it, the part that's flat, if you keep that lined up with the lines of the parts that's rolled, I think that's going to be the best way to do it, because both edges of these, neither edge was a clean, straight cut. So it's almost like they cut it by hand on both sides. So I don't know by them doing that if every cloth is always going to be the same width. I don't know if that's how they do it or not, but it was very difficult to roll straight. It kept wanting to roll up towards one of the sides, almost looked like a cone. So that's why I think when you're rolling the cloth, if you keep those lines lined up between what you've rolled and what you have flat out still to roll, I think that's going to be the best way to do it. I'll try to get that on a video in the next series that we do. I think I already have the next rug planned out. I want to get this one done first. So, and the people that this rug is going to are very special friends of ours, and I want to make sure, that's why I've done it 3 times. I want to make sure that this rug is damn near perfect for them, because they're very important to us. And I don't want to give them some half-assed rug. So now we're going to go ahead and get back to it. We're going to try and we're going to finish up the white. Again, we're going to try, oh, well, still have to do the white on the end. So we still have a bunch of white to do. And then we'll start on the background. I don't know if I have enough black, but I have some black on order that'll be here tomorrow. So let's get to it and see what we can do with what we have left. All right, so I'm going to thread the gun. One thing I do want to let you know, part of the Clawlab review, these little, I don't know if you're going to be able to see it on the camera or not. These little, let me see if I put my hand there. Yeah. So these that come with it, the threading needles, drop the yarn. The top part of it where the eye is, very flimsy. Well, obviously, I mean, it has to get through a very little hole on the tufting gun. So what I did was I went on to Amazon, and I'll try to put the link or the picture of it at least over here. I bought hair extension somethings. I forget what they're called. Something with hair extensions. And they seemed a little bit more sturdy, but if not, there's 8 of them. So because one of these already for me has come apart. Where that eye is, I don't know if you can get it in there or not. Yeah, where that eye is has already come apart on me once. So, and it's just from it being out and opened and closed and opened and closed and wind and shut and everything else. So, but threading the gun is very easy. I haven't been putting it through the top here, through the top 2 holes. I've just been putting it, if you're going to be able to get this or not, into that top hole right there, and then into the hole on the needle that goes through the tufting cloth. So, and then you just pull it through, and the gun is very easily threaded. So we're going to go ahead and power it on, which is on the bottom. And we're going to try and finish up this white. You want to make sure that you're pushing hard when you put it in. So this way you get nice, clean tufts onto the fabric. And this is where, you know, it gets stuck on the box a little bit sometimes. And actually, this thread is almost, I'm at the end of one of them. So I might have enough to finish the bee, and I will reload it to finish the end. I definitely have enough to finish the bee at least. So, and then you just pull these little threads out right here, the little hanging ones. I can already tell by looking at this right here that it is, oh, I still got to do the bee up here. So much better than the first couple attempts that I had at this. So let me get this here. So now I take it back. I'm definitely not going to have enough to finish the bee. Not with, I mean, I have enough white. I just don't, yeah, that was the end of that string. Okay. Which I think it just came, I have another roll in here. So I just grabbed it incorrectly. So I'm still getting used to working with yarn. So I've gotten better finally at finding the center of the yarn. But sometimes, like in this one right here, I got it from the center, but the center is not very easy to pull from. So I've got to find, I've been using this one from the outside because the center one, it ain't doing it. So we're going to drop that in there. We will reload the gun. Again, reloading the gun this often, that's a me thing. Things that I have to learn. It's definitely not a Clawlabs thing. So we rethread it with the needle or with the, I don't even know what this thing's called. Let me know in the comments what this thing is called. It's definitely not a needle. Is it a threader? I don't know. I'm sure one of you will know that. When I looked on Clawlabs' website, they listed it as threading tool, which maybe that's what it's called. I looked threading tool on Amazon and nothing came up except for things that I don't think would work in this because they were too thick. So, but the hair extensions came up. The hair extension, whatever they are, came up when I put tufting supplies. So that's what we're going to go with. All right. Helps if you turn it on. But these tufts are by far better. I can tell this rug is going to be better than the other two just by looking at the back because these tufts are a lot more, these tufts are a lot tighter and a lot easier to do. So it is true, as you tuft more, you will get better. As you're learning how the gun works, and how the material works, and how the yarn works. So that's not what I wanted. Yeah. Not the best way to do it because it's just single right now, but that's all right. Another thing that you can do is if you run out of yarn, or you run out of one of the skeins of yarn, is you can put it through, let me turn it off, you can double it up and thread it like this last part of the bee is a very, very, very tiny bit up here. So what I'm going to do, so I'm going to double up the yarn like that, and then I'm going to thread the gun. All right, now I'm going to pull both through. And then I can just, actually, I don't want to pull it that far because you want to use the gun to cut it after I turn it on. And now you've got a double threaded. So if you run out of one, you can do that. Or you can just take apart the whole skein and put it through and then cut it, and then you'll have two ends. But this is one way to get two ends if you only have a little bit left to do. Another thing I found would be helpful, and I haven't done it yet, I know I have some extras in the house, is to have tweezers. Because there's been times where I've tufted just a little bit too far onto the black. And I've been able to pull it out so far with my fingers. But I think if I had tweezers, that would be a little bit easier to do. Okay, now I'm going to get the end of this inside. The bee is completely done. I shouldn't say I don't like because I don't know 100%. Actually, there's still a little bit more left. And this is the problem that I have with the white canvas, is it's hard to see where you've done already and where you have not. So I am very interested to try the other like the gray premium cloth fabric and see how that works, to see if I like that better. Some other people said that they like the, I don't like the way that this is coming off on this yarn, the burlap, but I don't know, man. It just doesn't seem like it would, to me, sturdy enough. I shouldn't say that. Once you get it taut, it'll be sturdy, but the holes are just way too wide. I feel like, because I've had a couple of holes in this, like larger holes that I've made in error, and I feel like that would be the entire burlap. So, and I don't like trying to tuft with that, I've noticed. That is one thing that I've figured out on my own. So I don't think the burlap, for me at least, would be the right way to go. For you, it may be. You may love burlap, which is completely fine. And if I'm wrong about the burlap, and you have experience with the burlap, let me know in the comments. Maybe I'm wrong. Again, I'm brand new at this, so I can only go by what I see and what it looks like to me. I may try burlap in the future. I don't know. It kills me to waste money just to try it. But if you want me to try it, I have no problem doing one project on it and seeing how it goes. Maybe I'll love it. That could be possible. All right. We're going to thread this again. Again, we're just going, it's hard to get on the camera, through this top hole and then through the hole in the needle itself, like so. You can get that. There we go. Yep, so we're going through that top hole and then through the hole inside the needle. Or scissors, actually, I guess they would be called. And I didn't pull through all the way. Let me try that again. Oh, no wonder why. Perfect example. It broke. Luckily, I do have another one. Where I put it, I don't know. Here it is. So this is my third rug, and I'm on my third needle. So these things that came with it are definitely not the highest quality. So that's kind of irritating. The first one broke on day one. So that is one thing I don't like. I feel like they could have made a little bit better quality of these. I mean, it definitely could have been a little bit thicker, I think, without harming the gun itself or making sure that it fit. It would still fit even if it was a little bit thicker. So I think Clawlabs could have done a little bit better on that. I know I saw a spot that wasn't, oh, there it is. Yeah, it's really difficult to see the white on white. And this yarn that I'm using is not the Red Heart yarn. So that's another thing I'm still learning, is the different brands of yarn. What's better, what's not, what I like, what works for me. The Michaels brand, the threads and whatever it's called. Yarn and thread, threads and yarn. There it is. What's it over? Something in threads. Loops and threads. Not, I want to say not my favorite, but I don't have a whole lot of experience with yarn. I do like the Red Heart yarn a lot better. And I've been able to find that on Amazon cheaper than what I can get the loops and threads at Michael's. Again, I am not a yarn professional. I'm working my way there. I'm sure I'll get a lot more experience with the more rugs that I go. I think the next rug that I'm going to do is going to be a Tampa Bay Lightning one, I think. So, let's see. All right. I'm going to try and turn this a little bit. I don't even have to do that. I can just turn the camera. Oh, wrong way. That's not it either. All right. I was trying not to take out the tripod tonight, but you're not going to get a very good view if I don't. So I'm going to try not to get in the way of the tripod. It's on the other side of me, but we'll see what we can do. This is the part that's going to worry me here, is this. It's still kind of loose. So I want to try and hurry up and get that out of the way. Because if I push, I got to push really hard because it's not as taut as it should be. And I'm just hoping it doesn't mess anything up, to be honest with you. Well, it seemed to go okay. Wish I would have noticed this all before I started tufting tonight, because I could have fixed it. But I didn't, and I really want to get these rugs done. I don't know why I'm in a rush. I have no reason to be, but I want to get started on a different project. So, let's see how it goes. Yeah, I mean, I think it'll be okay. I don't think it's going to mess up the rug. Do I think it could be done better? Absolutely. But I don't think it's going to completely mess it up. But this skein's really getting on my nerves because it keeps knotting up. So this white that I'm using is part of the threads and loops and threads, and I think, I don't know if it's a me thing or if it's a loops and threads thing. Now that could be a possibility, depending on how it's wrapped. Although I did put it into the yarn winder, but the loops and threads is the only one so far that I've had a problem with on the yarn winder. So I don't know if that's a thing or if it just happens to be a coincidence or not. But we're going to try and unthread this as best we can. But I'll fast forward through this part so you don't have to listen to it. And funny enough, the white so far is the only color I've had issues with. So I don't know if that's I mean, I can't imagine a color would be a thing. Maybe it's just I got them from the same set. And there's something defective with them. I don't know. But we're going to see here. We're going to see how we do. Let's thread it. Power off. Safety first. I got to get it in the light because it's so small it's hard to see. Especially when you're like me and blind as a bat. Alright, I'm curious to see how long that new eye lasts. But the other one should be here tomorrow, so. I always forget to plug it back in. Ooh, that was weird. Okay. I'm really crossing my fingers that this being loose is not going to cause any issues. It's definitely not the best way to do it, but I'm trying to salvage so I don't waste all this yarn. Let's see. That's why I'm just trying to hurry up and get through this section. But I think it should be okay. See, when you get to the top of the end, it's pretty taut up here. It's just that bottom corner. So I try to clean these up as I go. I've seen some people that just let all the loose edges of the yarn hang until the end. I like to pull them out and clean them up as I go. I've seen some people that use their shaver to do it. I mean, I don't know why they do that. Maybe there is a technique behind it, but they pull out super easy. So I would rather just kind of clean up as I go. But again, I mean, maybe you guys know something that I don't. So if there's a reason that you shouldn't clean up as you go, let me know in the comments. But I just can't see one as of yet, personally. Got caught on the box again. So we're going to see how this works. I find tufting to be very therapeutic, though, I found. And I kind of get, not to sound corny, but I kind of like get lost in it. Like, I'll do this, I'll get so into it, and I lose track of time. So, I'm really enjoying it. I'm a little scared for when I have to carve this, because I don't want to screw up the carving. So I've been trying to learn as much as I possibly can. About carving, so this way I can figure out different techniques and different ways to do it. But we shall see. And I have found that up obviously is a much easier, like the threads is much easier. I could have gone this way rather than these little tufts, but I find it much easier to go up. That's what I've decided. But maybe another time, if I haven't, this much of an angle, I'll try it the other way just to see how it goes. But for me, I find this to be easier thus far. That my mind could change. I could see something or read something or try something or accidentally screw something up and be like, wow, that was actually a lot easier. So, but I don't know yet. Right now, for me, this seems to be the best way to do it. So, clean this up a little bit. Take out these little extra hangy threads. want to take out too much, but okay. So I lost the end of this yarn, so let's take this out a little bit. And I'm still learning the editing and stuff on this type of videos, because the other videos I do are not like this. As a matter of fact, the videos I do normally, I'm not even on camera. I'm just showing stuff. But, so I'm trying to see what people like and what people don't like. And if you want me to just fast forward through some of this regular tufting stuff until I have something to say, let me know in the comments. I can always do that in the editing. But I don't know what you guys like to see, what you don't like to see. And this is a new channel, and most of the stuff that I've seen on tufting is all like 3 and 4 years old. So I don't think it's going to be the same audience. But if you like to sit here and with me and listen to me yapper on about random stuff, I have no problem with that. So I'm not yapping on to you about stuff. I'm just either going to be listening to music or listening to YouTube as I tuft. But I can do it either way. I have no problem sitting here and having a conversation with myself to make a video for you. And if you don't like either one, well, I don't know what to tell you. So this is actually being filmed the day before the first 2 videos that we've done go up. So this is a Monday. The first 2 videos are released to go out tomorrow. And then this video will be out the next week. So if you want to know how fresh this video is, it is the, what are we at, the 17th or 18th of January? I think. Somewhere around there, because I thought it was the 20th. We're getting ready to go on a cruise in March, and I thought I had to check in for the cruise tonight, but we don't. It's not until the 23rd. So don't worry, while I'm on the cruise, there will be content being released. On my other channel, I release 3 videos a week, and I've already got that content done for the cruise. So, but this is so much easier than the other 2, and it's coming out so much better than the other 2 attempts at the rug. So I think I'm improving. I will find out. Honestly, I think I tufted both of those rugs pretty well. I think where I messed up on that second rug was with the carving. I think I could have fixed the issues that I had with the carving. But again, I want to make sure this thing is perfect, because it's for some pretty special people. It's our best friends, and actually I haven't even told them about this channel yet, because obviously I don't want them to see the rug before they get it. So they're going to be like, oh, why didn't you tell us? Well, because I didn't want you to know about the rug yet. One person that has been very helpful with giving me tips and tricks is a gentleman named DirtWiz on Twitch. I'll put his Twitch link and his YouTube link up on the screen for you. He works for, if any of you are tech nerds, he works for Linus Tech Tips, and he's been doing a lot of tufting himself. So he's been helping me with some tips and tricks as I move along. I've been sending him progress pictures and stuff like that. I get so happy when something's done right and looks right. I get excited, and I usually send him a picture. So I will probably send him a picture tonight of how much better this looks than the other 2 rugs did. Just now filling in what it looks like holes, but again, it's hard because it's white on white, so it's hard to tell. Like, there's a spot right here, very difficult to see because it's white on white. So I am going to order some of the premium tufting fabric, not from Clawlabs, because they don't sell it. Let me get it from someplace else to see if I like that better. I just got to get the right width that'll fit on this roll, or I clean out some of the garage and make a custom frame, which eventually I definitely will do a custom frame. Just not right now. Everything that I'm doing right now can be done pretty much within this size. And if you want to know actually how big this is, I don't have a measuring tape here, but it's about the size of a bath mat that you would put in the bathroom. So if that gives you any indication on the size. You're not going to get any bigger than that right now, but I think we're pretty much done with the white, which is good because one of the skeins is just about to run out. So I'm trying to get this. I want to make this white a little bit better here on the B, but I don't want to mess it up. So I might just try to put it without taking it out, without taking the black out. See if I can fix it that way, and I can always, that's too much. I can always fix it in the carving process, but I went too much over the black, and this is why I need a pair of tweezers, because it's much easier to use, I would imagine, it's much easier to use tweezers than it is the ends of my fingers to pull some of these threads out when you go over another color, so. And I don't want to mess it up too much, so I'll fix that. I can fix that during the shaving process, I think, yeah. I think that's going to be the best way to do it. I'll think. But maybe not. We'll see. But everything, it definitely looks better than the first two attempts on the rugs. So, I don't know if I have enough. I got to look and see if I have enough black to do the background. I have black on the way. It'll be here tomorrow. Hey, what's up? Good night. Have fun.
Hey, Tuft.
The camera. I'll edit all that out. Don't worry. Who are you talking to? All right. Let's see. Oh, I do have black. God, I hope I didn't order a bunch of black if I have a bunch of black here. Wait. What am I going to do? All right. So I'm going to turn this black right here into cakes, and I'll be right back. All right. We are reloaded with some black yarn. Hopefully I don't get in the way. We can just do this. I bought some extra large of the red heart yarn thread. So I used one skein to make 2 cakes. I do feel like the red heart yarn, again, with my limited experience, for tufting is a better quality, I feel like, just by the feel of it. But, I mean, again, I'm sure I'll learn more as I go, but right now, that's how I feel, is that the red heart is just a better quality. We shall see. Why is it bunching up like that? Let's see here. Clean up as we go. Gives me a chance to see what I've missed a little bit more. I know, like we said, we know this area is going to be a problem right now, so hopefully we can at least fix it as we go. And hopefully we don't ruin this corner, is what I'm hoping. So easy when you're going up and down. Alright, sorry about that. The camera went ding, and I was trying to figure out why it went ding. I forgot to delete some content from the SD card, and the SD card was full. Oh. So I went ahead and deleted some old content. It's from the other channel, so all that stuff is already all edited and everything. Get rid of the raw footage and keep tufted. This background is actually pretty easy to do because it's all, for the most part, just a bunch of straight lines. And now that I put these in cakes, it makes it a lot easier. I may actually be able to finish this tonight. I didn't think I would, but I really want to get it drying. If I can get it drying overnight, that would be ideal. I'm still worried about how this side is going to come out. What I don't want to happen is I don't want to get completely done with it and then get to the carving phase and there be something that's going to screw up about this corner. So hopefully that does not happen. Man, if I could just get away with making squares all the time, tufting would be pretty, it wouldn't be nearly as interesting, but it would definitely be easy. Let's see. Not that tufting is a learning curve, just like any new hobby that you're going to get into. I was hoping I'd have to rethread it, but I do. That's okay. I got so Tuft happy I didn't stop to look and see how the thread was in the box. That's what caused a little bit of a snag, but that's okay. We will get through it. What I do like about this, and I did find out it does have, we'll get back to that in a second, it does have a safety on it that after a while of not tufting, it doesn't power off, but it stops tufting. So, but I hit a knot, so I gotta cut the thread. Cut the yarn. Keep calling it thread, but it's yarn. Where are my scissors? Alright. Well, let's get this bad boy cut. There we go. Cut. Now we gotta get the eye thing The Threader. Every time I say Threader, I keep thinking of Shredder from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So, now we got the Threader out. Hopefully the Threader lasts us tonight until we get the other hair extension threaders or whatever they're called tomorrow. Maybe that's what they're called, hair extension threaders. I don't know. They're called something. And it looks like they will work for this. So hopefully that is the case. Because these ones that came with the gun, not so high quality. And I can't imagine I'm doing something wrong with it because it's just that little piece of cheap metal. But we shall see. Ooh, excuse me. Got the hiccups. So I did reach out to Clawlabs before I started doing this. To get a discount code. And I told them, I said, hey, it's a new channel, but I have experience as a creator, and I'm not asking for a gun, I'm just asking for a discount code for viewers. And they pretty much said, no way, Jose, you don't have any followers. I was like, you're right, I don't. And I told you that in the original email I sent you. And I explained the situation that I was creating a new channel, that I have years of experience in my other channel. With about, I mean, it's not a huge channel. It's got about 5,200 subscribers-ish. But I know that they've worked with people who have much less subscribers than that. So I kind of figured they'd be like, oh, well, at least he has experience, so maybe we'll give him a discount code. But they didn't, so. There is a code in the description of each video. I am partnered with Impact. And Impact works with Clawlabs, so you can click on the link in the description and you can view the Clawlabs gun. And I will tell you this, even though I don't have a discount code for it, first of all, it does tremendously help the channel if you do order it. But at the same time, they usually have pretty good deals. And I check the site all the time just to see what kind of deals they have going on, to see if they have anything going on with the fabric and stuff. But I mean, they usually have pretty good deals on the kit, so it's definitely still worth checking out. So, but it definitely does help the channel. You can use the link in the description of the video. Let's see. I know I'm not taking this to the top, but I probably should fill in some of this. Maybe not the whole way. I'll see how it looks on the other side. I'm going to have to go downstairs and get I don't know if I have a cup of coffee on the coffee machine or not still. I don't remember if I made one before I came up here, and I should start drinking it before it gets too late. I don't know if it's because I'm sitting down, but it seems to go a different direction before I get to the top. So maybe I shouldn't sit and do it, but I don't know. We'll see. Have to fix it though. There we go. I've noticed if I need to fix it, I can just tuft without doing it this way. I hope you can see all this. I'm not even looking at the viewfinder to see if you can see where I'm tufting at. You can. I just want to make sure I don't get in your way. We'll do this bottom portion. Get this out of the way, because this is still part of the messed up looseness. So hopefully we can recover this corner. It's so loose. That's why I just want to hurry up and get rid of this corner and get it done with. Like, this corner is like creeping me out, which sounds weird, but I don't want that to be the one thing that ruins this. Get started on other projects. So hopefully just keep going for no reason. That's the hopefully we were able to recover. I mean, it's not, they say you want it to be taut because this way, if not, it'll make holes. And I'm not any holes being made, which is good. Hopefully it stays together. Hopefully the parts that are not quite the best to stay together, hopefully the glue solves that. But as I move, it's funny because as I move over where it's tighter, it does get easier. So that is a good sign. All right, let's see. Clean up as we go. I was like, oh, clean up as you go. So you keep your room clean. Or clean up as you go while you're cooking. Just keep things neat and tidy. That's what I try to do. Yes. I didn't even notice that this was a thing until after I started tufting. Like this corner was a thing. I didn't realize until after I started doing some of the outlining. That's a good thing to learn. I mean, that's a lesson learned. Make sure you check the entire canvas before you start. There's no snags. I didn't think that would be a thing. With the way that this is set up on this particular, with the Clawlabs, I didn't think that would be a concern. And again, I don't think it's a Clawlabs thing. I think it was just a me thing, experience for me. Hopefully I'm not in the way. All right, let's see. I'm probably going to speed up some of this video. It'll take me a little while to edit, so I want to make sure the stuff that I'm telling you is getting through. But I also don't want you to just have to sit there and listen to my nonsense. Oh, this, well. Alright, so we're going to have to do what we did before because when I did this, the skein did not the skein. The cake was not as big as I thought it was when I made the second one. So I'm going to have to take some of this out and double it up or make another cake, which I'd rather just double this up, honestly. That's really what I would rather do. Actually, I don't have to double it up. I can take some out and snip it. And now I've got, I took some off the other cake and then a bunch of just wrapped it around, not wrapped it around my finger, but draped it over my hand. A few times and got a good amount. So like I said, I don't think we're going to finish the black tonight. Why? We're going to find something to watch on YouTube while we do this and talk to you, and I don't want to watch it. I don't like that person live. Oh, here's a new video. Watch this. Alright. Man, I went through that double up already. Try to fill these holes as I go. That one's going to go through or not, but we'll try it and see. Let's see. I think I'm going to have to make another cake. I can finish off this first before I make another cake. To last this little bit. And then maybe we'll take a 15-minute break and see if I have that coffee downstairs. Usually I make another cup and I don't remember if I did or not. So if I did, it's going to have to go in the microwave because I've definitely went up here way too long for it to be any good. There must be a knot in this. Yeah, we're just gonna make another cake. That's what we're gonna do. So we'll be back after these messages. All right, everybody, we are back. It is like 2 nights later. I had to get the rug finished, so I did finish the rug, and we're gonna take a look at it and see how it looks. I think it looks much better than the other 2 rugs that were done. Let me get on the side of this table here. It looks much better than the other 2 rugs. So here we go. Ta-da! Much better. We got some carving in around the B. We got carving in. We got the hearts all carved out. The N is all carved out. I did not do... It scared me a little bit to get to do the carving of those 7s right now. So we'll work up to that. We will definitely work up to that. Yeah. So this time so a couple things that I learned from this rug. Number one, with the Roberts 3095 glue, best to make sure that you let it dry for 24 hours. So the other ones I did for like 12, and it was very tacky on the back. And people said it would be tacky, so I thought maybe that's just how it was. But I let it sit for 24 hours, And it is a little tacky, but nowhere near as bad. The other thing I noticed was that with the Roberts 3095 glue, it came out, it was kind of wavy when I first get it. Now that I've given it some more time and rolled it, it's not as wavy anymore. So those are a couple things that I've learned from this rug. I did go to Michael's. Yeah, I did go to Michael's today and pick up some more yarn. I'm trying to find big twist yarn. Now I know when Joann's went out of business, it's really up in the air on what happened to the big twist yarn. Some people say that Michael's took it over. They didn't have a huge selection. And I talked to the girl there today, and she said they've gotten one shipment, and that's it. So I don't know if you know where the big twist yarn can be found. Let me know, because I looked up big twist yarn on YouTube, and all that came up was red heart yarn. So I like the yarn from Big Twist because it seems to be softer than the red heart yarn. But we did it. We did good. I think we definitely improved from the first two tries of the rug. So I'm gonna keep those two trial rugs and do some more practice on carving and stuff. As a matter of fact, I will probably try to carve like the area around the sevens and the diamond just to see how it comes out. I mean, I can't do anything with those rugs anyway, so they're trash anyway. So I might as well use them for practice. And I think that's a good thing. I think it's maybe a good thing when you first start tufting to get or to do a small rug that you can use for practice. You're not going to give it to anybody. You're not going to do anything with it. Just use it for practice. Practice the carving and stuff like that. And that's what I did at first. So I do have a rug that I'm super excited about. And that's going to be the next rug that we're going to do. I'm going to be starting the nostalgia series. So be on the lookout for some very nostalgic um, rugs coming up. I also want to I was looking at Michael's today, and I also found, I shouldn't say I found because I knew it had, there's all kinds of multicolor yarn, and I really want to do like an abstract, maybe a circular abstract rug or something like that and just try and get some of these random multicolored yarns that are so nice and try and see what I can make with those. But other than that, I want to thank you guys for watching the videos. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We're small but mighty. Right now, we're trying to build up the channel as much as we can. If there's anything that I've missed from my beginner's journey that you want to know or that you want to see, let me know down in the comments. Other than that, we will see you with the next rug.